Why do we put up with it? Why do we drive on roads full of holes, drink from water pipes that are decades old, and fly out of airports that feel stuck in time, while the rest of the world builds new? This isn't just annoying. It hits your wallet, wastes your time, and slowly breaks down the way things should be. We're about to open your eyes to the wild truth about why we just accept things this bad. Look, it's not just in your head. The feeling that everything is barely holding together is real. Every few years, a group of top civil engineers gives the country's infrastructure a report card. The latest grade for everything, our roads, our water systems, our airports, is a C-. That's barely passing. And while that's a tiny step up from a D+ a few years ago, it's nothing to be proud of. Most of our essential systems are still in the D range, which basically means they're in rough shape and getting worse. This isn't some abstract problem. It costs every single household an extra $3,300 a year. That's money you lose to car repairs from potholes or gas you waste sitting in traffic that shouldn't exist. Think about this. Almost half of the bridges in the country are over 50 years old, and tens of thousands of them are officially rated as being in poor condition. So the real question isn't if things are bad. It's how we let it get to this point, and why it feels like nothing ever changes. The truth is, that C- grade is generous. It's an average. When you look closer, it gets a lot worse. Of all the different types of infrastructure, from our power grid to our parks, 11 of the 17 categories are actually in the D range. That means they're in poor shape, at risk, and just getting by on a prayer. Take our public transit systems. They got the lowest grade of all, a D-. It's not hard to see why. Almost half of all Americans have no access to public transit whatsoever. And for those who do, the systems are often old, unreliable, and desperately need repairs. This isn't an accident, it's a choice. We've chosen not to pay the bill for decades. According to the engineers who write this report card, the country is spending only about half of what it actually needs to. That's created a massive funding gap. Over the next 10 years, we are short nearly $2.6 trillion. That number is so big it almost sounds fake. But the consequences of ignoring it are very real. If we keep kicking this can down the road, experts predict it could cost the U.S. $10 trillion in lost economic growth by 2039. It could also wipe out over 3 million jobs. As one of the report's authors put it, when we fail to invest in infrastructure, we pay the price. And right now, we're all paying that price, whether we realize it or not. The bill has come due, and the cost of doing nothing is getting higher every single day. So why does fixing a single pothole, let alone building a new bridge, seem to cost a fortune and take forever? As one expert put it, the problem is simple. It takes too long and it costs too much to build infrastructure in the United States. The real issue isn't the price of concrete or steel. It's the price of red tape. Over the last 50 years, we've piled on layer after layer of rules and regulations. Now, each one of these rules probably made sense at the time. They were meant to protect the environment or give local communities a voice. But altogether, they've created a maze so complicated that even the people trying to get things done are trapped. This creates a massive tug-of-war between moving quickly and making sure everyone gets to weigh in. Community input is essential, but our system has become weaponized. It's now incredibly easy for a small group to sue and stop a major project in its tracks for years, sometimes for reasons that have nothing to do with the project itself. We see environmental permits, a tool designed to protect nature, being used to block clean energy projects that would help the planet. For a perfect example of this paralysis, just look at the California high-speed rail project. It's been in the works for decades and has burned through billions of dollars with very little to show for it. It's been stuck in a nightmare loop of funding fights, endless lawsuits, and arguments over permits. But it doesn't have to be this way. When New York needed to replace the Tappan Zee Bridge, they built the new Mario Cuomo Bridge on time and on budget. How? They found a way to cut through the bureaucracy. They used a smarter process for hiring contractors, and, most importantly, they streamlined the environmental reviews that can stall other projects for years. This proves the problem isn't that we can't build things. It's that we've made it incredibly and expensively difficult to even get started. But this raises a much bigger, more uncomfortable question. If we know how to fix things, and we know the current system is broken, why do we put up with it? The scary answer is that, on some level, we've just gotten used to it. The daily frustration of hitting a pothole, sitting in traffic on a crumbling highway, or worrying about the water from our taps has become background noise. It's a slow-motion decay that we've started to accept as normal, and the decay is very real. While the overall grade for America's infrastructure is a C-, that number hides the real story. Out of 17 different categories, from roads to dams to drinking water, a staggering 11 are in the D range. That's basically a failing grade. Take our bridges. Over 46,000 of them across the country are considered structurally deficient, which is just a technical way of saying they're in bad shape. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a hidden tax. All that neglect costs the average American household around $3,300 every single year. That's money you lose to wasted time, extra fuel burned in traffic, and car repairs from bad roads. So if it's costing us thousands of dollars, why isn't everyone demanding action? Because the problem feels impossibly big. When people see new projects get tangled up for years in lawsuits and arguments, it creates a sense of helplessness. You start to believe that nothing can actually get done. It's easier to just adapt. You learn which potholes to swerve around. You leave for work 20 minutes earlier to account for traffic. You lower your expectations. And that feeling is reinforced when you hear the numbers. Right now, the US is spending only about half of what's actually needed to fix things. That leaves a funding gap of over $2.5 trillion. When faced with a number that big, it's easy to just tune out. This is the psychological trap. The worse things get, the more we adapt. And the more we adapt, the less we demand better. We normalize the neglect, and the cycle just keeps going. But that slow decay isn't just a feeling. It's an invoice, and it's a bill that hits you directly in the wallet, even if you never see the line items. All those tiny frustrations, the extra gas burned while you're stuck in traffic, the time you can't get back, the surprise car repair after hitting a nasty pothole, they all add up. This isn't just bad luck. It's a direct result of decades of putting off the necessary work. Most of our infrastructure, from roads to water pipes, was built over 50 years ago, and it's starting to show its age in a big way. Zoom out from your personal expenses, and the national picture is even scarier. Experts at the American Society of Civil Engineers project that over the next 10 years, there's a massive funding gap. The U.S. is projected to lose a staggering $10 trillion in economic growth by the year 2039. That's not all. It could also cost the country more than 3 million jobs. As the head of the Civil Engineers Society put it, this is not a report card anyone should be proud of. He warns that if we don't act, we're risking serious economic damage. Things will get more expensive for businesses and for you. It's not just about money, it's about our quality of life.